Hey guys, VetteBlazer here, and this is part 2 of my close quarters review. Today we'll be talking about all the new weapons that come along with the expansion pack. There are 10 weapons that you get. There are 2 for each of the main classes, and then you get an additional 2 that are shared that anybody can use. So for the Assault class, the 2 new weapons that you get are the Scar L and the AUG A3. Starting off with the Scar L, this is basically a lighter version of the Engineer's heavier Scar H. Both weapons have the single fire and auto fire modes, but the main difference is that with the Scar L, it uses the smaller 5.56 rounds, and it has a larger magazine which actually holds 30 of them, as opposed to the 20 that the Scar H carries with its 7.62 rounds. I do like the Scar L a little bit better than the Scar H, but to be perfectly honest, I don't like either of those half as much as I love the AUG. I think this weapon is great. It carries the same amount of ammo as the Scar L, 30 rounds and the same caliber, but it has a higher rate of fire, so you can put more lead on your target. Also, it's a single fire or automatic fire weapon as well, but I just find it a lot easier to handle this gun. The single shot, I think, is more effective than with the Scar. I can, pop a few shots and I'll take these guys out. It's pretty accurate, even firing from the hip. And the fully auto, it doesn't jump too much all over the place. So I find I can control this weapon pretty well. It's pretty balanced. I think it's a good combination of up close and distance. When you're trying to shoot fully auto at a distance, it isn't as accurate as some of the other weapons. So I'll convert back to single shot, and then if I move in close, I'll go fully auto. But I do like this weapon a lot, and it's definitely going to be one of my standard weapons for the Assault class. Moving on to the Engineer class, the 2 new weapons for the Engineer are the ACWR and the MTAR-21. Both of these weapons, like the Assault class weapons, are fully automatic or single shot. And the ACWR, like the AUG, also uses the 5.56 round. Has a slightly smaller clip at 27 rounds, but it has a higher rate of fire than the AUG, so it works pretty well close and medium range. I don't like the single shot as much as the AUG, but overall it's a pretty good weapon. And it's pretty easy to keep it on target, even in fully automatic mode. The other Engineer weapon, the MTAR-21, also uses the 5.56 rounds, but it has a clip that holds 30 of them. It also has a much higher rate of fire than the ACWR at 900 rounds per minute. So it's an ideal close quarters weapon. You can really put a lot of lead on your target and get some good results. I don't think the longer distance accuracy is as good as some other weapons. Even in single fire mode, I do find it difficult to take people down as quickly as with the AUG or some of the other weapons. So for the Engineer, I think my vote's going to have to go to the ACWR. I think it's just better overall. The MTAR is, I think, a little bit more effective up close, but from a distance, I'm just not happy with it. Okay, for the support class, we get 2 new light machine guns: the LSAT prototype and the L86A2. Both weapons fire the 5.56 rounds, and both are capable of fully automatic fire mode only, but that's pretty much where the similarities end. The L86 is a really, really accurate weapon. It has a really tight spread, and even with a relatively high-powered scope, it doesn't really jump around all that much. And the cool thing is that it holds 45 rounds, not like you need it. I would have expected it to be like its cousin, the L85, with a 30-round magazine, but I guess they wanted to make up for the lack of a single shot or burst fire capability. But either way, the L86 is definitely an awesome weapon. Definitely one of my favorites of the Close Quarters expansion pack, with its high rate of fire up close and its accuracy at a long distance. I just think it's a really great balanced weapon and definitely one of my favorites. But this is in pretty sharp contrast to the LSAT. I'm not going to say I dislike the LSAT as much as I like the L86, but I'm really not impressed with its performance. It has a relatively low rate of fire, not as low as the M60 or the Pechenyeg, but both of those light machine guns fire the 7.62 rounds, so they have more stopping power. And then at the other end of the scale, you've got the other light machine guns that fire 5.56 rounds, like the MG36 and the SAW M249, but those fire much faster than the LSAT. So I guess it's trying to be a middle-of-the-road weapon. Not sure if it succeeds. The suppression is okay. But it's pretty good, you know, on the move. It's you don't need to be stationary all the time to hit your targets, so you know, it does have its good points. Okay, moving on to Recon. The Recon class gets 2 new sniper rifles, and like the support class, one of the weapons I like, the other one not so much. The first one I'm going to show you here is the JNG-90. It is a bolt-action sniper rifle, holds 10 rounds, 7.62 caliber, and yeah, this is the one I'm not exactly thrilled with. You know, for a weapon that came in an expansion pack, I would expect it to have a little more stopping power and not need to rely on my pistol so much, but the reload time just seems long. And I usually use the L96, and I find it to be just a much smoother weapon. So of course you're saying to yourself, hey Vet, you noob, you're supposed to shoot people in the head with a sniper rifle, so I do have to admit that luckily if you do shoot somebody in the head, it does kill them. So that is one good thing about the J&G, I guess. Moving on to the other Recon weapon, the M417 is a semi-automatic sniper rifle. It's basically a modified M416 that uses a larger caliber 7.62 round. I think the closest thing to this out of the standard list of Recon weapons is the M39 EMR. But the M417 carries 20 rounds as opposed to the EMR's 10, so you don't have to reload anywhere near as often. I normally don't play with semi-auto sniper rifles, but I have been playing with this one pretty often. It's good for firing at a distance, and you can also fire from the hip, which helps to reduce your reliance on switching to the pistol. I think it has really good stopping power. I rarely have to hit someone more than 1 or 2 times to take them down, and you do get one-shot kill headshots. So overall, this weapon gets my vote as the best semi-auto sniper rifle in Battlefield 3 thus far. So we're almost at the finish line here. For the shared weapons, you get a new shotgun and a new submachine gun, the M5K. This little sucker has an extremely high rate of fire at 900 rounds per minute, so it chews through a clip in no time, as you see here. And that is with the extended mag. Without it, you only get a 25 round clip. and you find yourself reloading constantly. So if you get the extended mag, definitely use it because you're going to need it. You would think with such a high rate of fire that this thing would be completely inaccurate, but it actually has a surprisingly good control, and it's actually fairly efficient as a medium range weapon. But because it does fire so quickly, you'll find yourself reloading constantly, and this will make it difficult to keep up the pressure on your enemies. Oh, and make sure you buddy up with someone on the support class who's kind enough to drop ammo packs. Otherwise, you're going to be staring at a big 0 for rounds remaining in a hurry. As you would expect, the M5K does a really good job with up-close combat. Just don't go too Rambo and try to clear out a whole building by yourself. Okay, last but certainly not least, the SPAS 12 shotgun. Arguably the best shotgun in the game. It is a pump-action shotgun, and it only holds 5 rounds, but unless you're getting attacked by more than 5 people at once, you don't need any more. I mean, this thing has incredible stopping power, and it will turn even the most die-hard auto-shotty fans into true believers. I use it with the slug rounds, and it's great because I can blow people away up close, and I can also do a little shotgun sniping from a pretty good distance. The only downside is if you are completely out of ammo, it does take a while to reload, but once you're locked and loaded, there's nothing stopping you. Except for maybe an RPG. Well, that is it for my close quarters weapons review. I wanted to thank you all for watching this video. If you haven't already done so, check out part 1, where I talk about the different game modes and different maps in close quarters. Until next time, this is VetteBlazer saying be good and keep on fragging.